What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for May 22nd, 2023. Well, 319 is live, but it is not as exciting as it sounds. Invictus Launch Week is here, and it comes with ship sales and free flies and poor game performance. And then we also had a new ship that is coming out, and that is the Mirai Fury. All that and more on today's Week in Review. And as always, if this is your first week in review, this is where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week, put it into one video, and share some of my opinions about it. I also live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/SaltEMike, starting at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time every day but Monday, so I can get this video out to you guys. Thanks for stopping by. As always, there's been tons of people every week stopping by from these videos over to my live stream, so thank you again for that. But we have a lot to get through this week. Let's start out with patch 319. And with that, we start out with Monday, and that was a PTU patch for 319. It wasn't live yet, where it was just a minor bug fix, really tiny patch. And then on Tuesday, we had the patch go live. So in case you guys don't know, I will briefly go over some of the details on what is in 319, and it's the culmination of everything that we've been talking about for weeks. And it starts out with salvage contracts. There are three kinds. They all have buy-ins, various prices, and you can salvage the material from the ships, you can loot their cargo, and you can take their weapons and components for profit. And then we have the Ghost Hollow Reclaimer PvP mission. This location literally prints money. It's insane. Just remember to turn off the comm array so you can trigger it. And I'm going to do a full guide on this location in the next couple days. So get subscribed for that guide if you guys haven't yet. The new player experience, they're trying to think about welcoming new players more, which is great. But this is clearly just, a very unpolished first step, and it needs some work, but good job on a starting point, I would say. The Lorville skyline, the landing here is amazing. It looks really cool, but the frames, wow, they have a lot more optimizing to do here. FPS combat AI, they're less punishing when they do work, which is a good thing, I think. Tractor beam item and attach and detach. Now, this is probably the most important update to the game that we've had in years. Honestly, it's lacking in 319, as many ships don't have the ability to remove the items you may want, but this opens up many doors for more exciting and interesting gameplay. They just have to do it. Mining. They basically took mining and threw it out the door and redid the entire thing. This basically is the first profession to not be tier 0, in my opinion. There's so much depth to the mechanic now. Breaking rocks is way more interesting. Again, Get subscribed for guides on mining that are going to be coming as well. I'm working really hard on these things, but it does take time to make sure you get the information correct. Claim timers, repair changes. Some have gone up, others have gone down. But if you have a large ship, you're likely to be waiting a while to jump back into the game and doing what you were doing when you died now. Some people are upset about this, as the game is still so broken. But I kind of think it's time to pull the Band-Aid off on some of these things and create consequence for death, and not blaming the game on your terrible flying or something. Now, I'm not going to name names to other content creators. No, just kidding. It's me. I often do that. I'm the one who does that. Terrible flying. Oh, my ship is messed up. Something like that. It's not the game's fault. It's your fault. Then we had the ships added to the shops for in-game purchases, for in-game credits. The Corsair, the Cutter, the C8R, and not the Vulture. More on that in a minute. Then we had Invictus Launch Week start, and they put out the schedule this week. It'll be linked in the description, and it's an in-game convention where you can try every ship on the list, basically. The game will be free to try for the entire 12 days. Again, expect the servers to burn, and they have been. More details on the other updates portion of the video on the full Invictus Launch Week details there. Xylo does address the issues on the servers being poor. And all I see here is deflection. This is not the marketing or communities team's problem for running events that are obviously causing issues for players. While most of this is probably true, it's always framed in a way to deflect away from themselves. And that, I think, is, not a great look, in my opinion. And here's the deal. Invictus Launch Week is an important funding time. So doing it now, running 319, and then days later, instantly running a free fly with an event, with ship sales, all these things, is a normal an acceptable thing to do, in my opinion. The problem is that you did it in 3.18, you did it in 3.18.2, you're doing it over and over and over again, and there's never an opportunity to just sit down and play the game, for the game to just be itself on its own, to show what it can do when when it's normal, right? And that's what I have a problem with. Is Invictus Launch Week is fine, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is fine, everywhere in between, can we focus on the game and just like let the game speak for itself? That's kind of my opinions here on this. Let me know what you guys think, but that's, just think on that one for a second. That's where I'm starting to get frustrated, is this incessant need to gather as many new players as possible for and complete disregard for the way the game plays for the people who have already purchased it and want to play it, right? And that's where I take issues with that. And with that, that's all we have on the patch updates. Let's move on to a kind of small roadmap update that we got this week. And starting out, we have a progress tracker update where they added the Montreal vehicle team to the progress tracker. And I think a lot of people expected this to help with the backlog of endless concept ships that people purchased and that are seemingly never coming out, many of which are being sold at Invictus Launch Week right now. But if you take a look at the progress tracker, there are 2 unannounced ships that they're working on, and that's it. Absolutely classic, right? Like, what is this? And then for release view, all they did was just make it so 3.19 is marked as released since it's out, and the Lynx is going to be marked as released when it does come out at Invictus in a couple days. And that's really all we had for roadmap updates, so let's move on to video updates. All we got this week was an Inside Star Citizen titled Get Furious, and it was entirely a car salesman video of selling the Mirai Fury, which is a new company that's like a segment of Misk, and they're selling these like performance ships, and it's a little tiny snub ship that flies around, zips around, and you can put it in a bunch of ships, and it's really like a novelty item is what I feel like, which is kind of weird. But then they said this.
So the Fury is designed to compete against some of our most agile and capable fighters, such as the Arrow and the Gladius. It does that by being much more agile than those, as well as being a smaller form. It does have limitations there. It doesn't have a quantum drive, so its range is sort of limited around planetary bodies, and ideally it is carried within other ships.
Now, thank God it turned out that this wasn't entirely true. The ship isn't really competing with the Arrow or the Gladius at this moment, and it turns really fast. It's really like agile and stuff. But the thing that I'm hearing from my PvP friends is that there's very little fuel, and it's not really competing the way they're saying it should. So for once, a ship isn't coming out completely overpowered than we had in the past. Now, there was no Star Citizen Live this week because Jared was at Beacon, which is in Belgium. It's like a little con for Star Citizen fans in Belgium. Now, I did not get any like videos or interviews or anything like that similar to the one that was in Germany sent to me as if it was, so, hey, there's some really good information here. I don't know what devs were out there and who was talking, but if I do hear anything and there is any worthy content, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll cover it on the channel at some point if there's anything worth sharing to people. Now, let's move on to other updates where we talk about Invictus Launch Week. But before we get into that, as always, there is a sneak peek this week, and it's a really interesting thing that kind of looks like the Banu Cube in some way. So maybe it's going to be an item that they share at Bar Citizens. I'm not really aware of exactly what it is, but in the Reddit comments, they said that there was some flare text, that this is kind of like a coin flipper, and you could see that there's a red light and a blue light. So maybe we can use it and flip coins in game and make decisions with it. I think that would be pretty cool. I do hope that we get this in-game and we're finding it on the loot table of some way or some kind. The Banu Cube is a very cool thing for players, I think, to do, but in-game stuff is always cooler to me, so we'll have to see what happens with that. But then for Invictus, we started out with Misk, Mirai, Crusader, all in one day. Obviously, it's the 19th and the 20th that they did it, and only 4 ships were on offer from Misk. The Freelancer, the Razor EX, the Reliant Tana and the Starfarer Gemini. Mirai obviously was the Fury and the Fury MX. They were much cheaper than I had originally expected. Fun to fly, but yeah, really gimmicky, as I said before. I don't really see how this fits in the actual game after every YouTuber just, makes videos of putting them inside of ships. There's also a $500 package for this thing. I mean, like, some days I just can't with this game. It is so ridiculous. Like, just wow, I don't know what to do with it. Then for Crusader, they sold the A1 Spirit, the A2 Hercules, the Ares Inferno and Ion, the C2, the M2, the MSR. Not sure how this fits in the theme because this is like military grade stuff. And then Aegis is the current day that's happening today on Monday. It was Sunday and Monday, the 21st and 22nd. There are 21 vehicles for sale. I'm just going to list their parents here. The Avenger series, they come with 2 new paints as well on the Avenger series this year. The Eclipse, a stealth bomber, the Gladius series, the Hammerhead, the Idris, which insta sold out, the Javelin, which also sold out, the Nautilus, which is this bomb layer. I think it's the most ridiculous concept they've ever made. There's no discussion about the ship since they sold a $750 concept ship, basically, other than putting it in the holo table at Invictus, right? Redeemer also comes with 2 new paints, Retaliator Bomber, Saber, Vanguard series, and lastly, the Vulcan, which is a repair and rearm concept ship. 0 timeline on this as well. The 25th and 26th are going to be Tumbril, RSI Origin, and Consolidated Outland, as well as Argo, all in the same 2 days. And the RSI Lynx is expected to be shown at this event at that time, which is a luxury ground vehicle, whatever that means. And then we have Drake Defense Con on the 27th and 28th. And this is where you get to try salvage for free. The Drake Vulture is going to be available for you to try for free, which is super great and sort of. Now, I don't want to say that this isn't, in good faith, but I don't think it is. So I just want to put it out there and my feelings on this. You have not sold the Drake Vulture in game. You've had 6 months approximately of opportunity to sell this thing. And if you didn't get the advantage on it the way you wanted to, too bad, in my opinion. Here's what they're doing, guys. They're giving you a try for free so you buy the ship for real money, right? It's not available for you to purchase in game. It will be available for you to purchase on the website. And I'm wearing a very special shirt today for a reason. I wore this on my live stream at the start of Invictus launch week, and I will have you know I washed it in between, okay? So relax in the comments. But the thing about this is all the money that you are putting into Star Citizen during Invictus launch week, most of it feels and probably is not going to the game. It's going to Squadron 42. And that's the thing, is we have not seen the rewards of all of the money going to Squadron 42 yet. We got a hint of it at CitizenCon in October of last year. We've gotten told that we will probably see or be able to reap the rewards at the end of the year. But I just want to be transparent, and from what I know and from my history with this game is that all of the money that you're spending here is not going where you think. And that's why I'm wearing the shirt today, and that's why I think this is problematic with a ship like the Vulture, right? Many people should have had an opportunity to earn this in game and play the game. And that's kind of been the theme of today, is there seems to be very little care about the playing of the game, and it's all about money acquisition and new players and all this stuff, and it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth for someone who really loves the game and really wants it to be successful. And then May 29th and 30th are the last 2 days where you get to be able to try everything from Invictus launch week as far as whatever is for free. If you are new to Star Citizen, link will be down in the description to give it a try and all that. So guys, with that said, that is Weekend Review. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. As always, thank you so much for all you guys coming over the live streams and saying what's up. I've been live streaming a lot longer, so you guys have had more opportunities for you in the East Coast of the US and stuff to come check me out as I stream very early in the morning. But again, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought about anything that I shared today this week. I was pretty opinionated on a few things, so would love to hear what you guys think about them. Thank you again, and I will see you guys next week.